Today, I'm going to be going over some of the best high ground retakes that beginners can learn. If you wouldn't mind taking a quick second to drop a like, it's completely free and it helps out the channel a ton. And if you're new here and you like this video or you find it helpful, please drop a sub. I'm super close to 20k and I'm trying to get there. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys. Alright, Fortnite high ground retakes. Pretty self-explanatory. There's builds that help you get high ground because obviously in Fortnite, when you have high ground, you have the advantage. So if you're a beginner or you're just not as skilled as some of the players that are crazy with high ground builds like FaZe Sway and the rest of them, then there's a few moves that you might need to familiarize yourself with before you can really start to improve at these moves. The first is sort of a high ground retake, and that's because it's literally just a side jump. Now, side jumps are super useful in Fortnite. They're used in a ton of different variations of high ground retakes. You can do standard ones, you can do protected ones, you can go in and do a double. And there's just a ton of different variations of a side jump that you can do. So learning the basic where you go up, you place a pyramid on top. From this moment, you're gonna run over, and while running full speed, you're gonna jump as close to the edge as you can without falling off. So you're gonna jump, kind of turn like that, and then place your floor and place your stair. So one time in slow motion. And then eventually you can go and get pretty good at these. That can be used as a high ground retake. If you just go up and you do one and you turn around, that's a pretty quick way to get 3 layers above. And it's literally just 2 of the most simple moves in the game. You go and you can do a side jump and then a 180 and you're already up here. You can take shots. It's actually really effective. The next move that you want to familiarize yourself with if you're doing high ground retakes is a fast way to get a stair above you. In a lot of high ground retakes, you're going to be wanting to build like this. You're building a stair above you and a stair below you. But if you're just on one stair, you obviously can't do that. You got to figure out a way to start placing a stair above you. Some people do the full edit through and then they'll start doing it this way. Some people will actually turn all the way around and do it this way. But a move that's fairly newer and that's really fast is just doing this. It does involve a little more editing and a little more precision. I guess you can call it a little more advanced because you do have to make that wall edit. But I'd say with just a little bit of practice, you'd be able to do this pretty consistently. So for simple high ground retakes, say you're doing this one's pretty well known. You just turn around, do a 180, do a double edit through and keep on going. An easy way to get that double stair started is to just do something like this, and then you're in and you're good and you're going. You can incorporate your side jump. That's getting a little more advanced, but if you learn to do this, it's a very easy and fast way to get a stair above you. Now, the last thing that you want to familiarize yourself with before we actually start doing some of the real retakes are high builds. Now, high builds are so simple to do, but they are so effective in fights. In your normal free building, it's going to be really hard to high build and see the point of it. In fights, unless the player you're fighting is like a complete sweat, they're not just gonna sit here in 90 and get 100 layers on top of you. Typically, they want to stay within like a decent range so they can get shots in on you. And so that usually means they're about 2 to 3 layers above you if they're on high ground. So something you can actually do, say you're on this layer and your opponent's like a few layers above you, you can actually hop onto a stair and you can place pretty high. I mean, me placing that pyramid there means I just blocked off my enemy, placing a stair to go up even higher, and that's 2-3 layers up above me. So high builds are super useful, and throughout these retakes, you'll kind of want to learn how to use them, because high ground retakes alone, yeah, they might get you high ground like 60% of the time, but you need different tactics as well. So high building is also a pretty decent tactic. Okay, so our first, or I guess second retake after the side jump is actually going to be a variation off of the side jump. This would be good basically if your opponent's chasing behind you. What you can do is do a side jump and then do one of these. Now that might have looked pretty confusing. Let me break it down. Like I said before, you're gonna be running and you're gonna wanna have a stair above you, a stair below you if you're protecting your top. Otherwise your opponent can just shoot you. But if they're chasing on, say, the other side of this, they're up a few layers, they're chasing you and you want to try to throw them off, and you need to do something here because you can't just flip one of these and run straight at them. That's not viable anymore. Players have gotten too advanced for that. So what you can do to kind of throw a little curveball at them is you can go and you can do a side jump here. And you're gonna have to do this part fast because right here they're gonna be able to take a shot at you. So as quickly as you can do this side jump and then get this wall down, you're gonna place 2 walls right here, a pyramid above, and then go ahead and do one of these moves that FaZe Sway popularized, which is to place a stair, floor, stair, and then edit through this. And then you're up another like 2 or so layers, and you can keep going up, or you can turn around and start doing 90s. I guarantee you that'll get you height almost every single time, especially with the high build variation in the 90s. So full speed, it's gonna look something like this. You can go up and then you can start doing your 90s. You can do your high builds, whatever, and they're probably still gonna be down there. Look where I started from. I started from all the way down. This is where I started my high jump, and I ended all the way up there, and that was a pretty quick sequence of events. It does look pretty confusing, but if you slow it down, do a side jump, place these 2 walls, place this pyramid, go and edit through, and then you can just continue doing this. It's honestly really simple. I'd probably say after like 10 minutes of practice, you could have this thing down. The next high ground retake we're going to do is probably one that you haven't really thought of, and that's because it's not one of the super flashy retakes where you're doing all this crazy building and stuff, because those are ones that are super popular. This one is literally just 90s and a high build. I've been using this one a lot recently. So this one is going to be whenever you do 90s, you can do 90s however you want, and when you build the second one, you're going to do a high build right there. So you can edit through this, and like I said, typically your enemy is only a few levels above you, so you'd be surprised how many times you can edit this wall and they're going to be somewhere in this vicinity. So if they are, you can obviously come in, you can box them if they're in that part, or you can just keep going up and you can go ahead and do more 90s. A variation I've gotten pretty used to is 90s. You're gonna high build here, you're gonna edit through this, and then if they're not somewhere in this vicinity where I can make a play on them, then I'm going over here, I'm high building this wall, I'm going right here, and then I'm just gonna continue this and continue going up protected. Making that a little faster, making it full speed, that's gonna be something like this, and then you can just keep going up and keep staying protected. And again, these look pretty advanced, but honestly, there's only like 1 or 2 edits involved, and the builds really aren't all that crazy. All you have to do this is look up, way up, and then you edit through here, and then obviously, like I said, if they're over here, you can make a play on them. You can go in and box them if they're over here, or if they're not there, you can just keep going up here and keep staying protected, and then do another high ground retake, do one of these, blah blah blah. I feel like at this point everyone's familiar with that retake. What your stairs are doing is ending on the same level, so you're gonna want to place this one out, place this one right here. You're gonna place pyramids on both of them. You're gonna come out, place a stair out. Now this is the hard part. This, I guess, is a little more advanced. You're gonna want to jump, and you got to click a lot of buttons at once, which makes it a little difficult. Go from your wall to your floor to your stairs. So you're gonna go in, turn, place all these. Typically this will place as well. If it doesn't, then it just means for an easier thing, all you have to do is edit through here. In full speed again, that's gonna look something like this. It can look pretty smooth. It can be really easy to do. So I guess there's a little bonus high ground retake. But like I said, that's been around for a long time, so I figured a lot of people would know about that. Those are pretty much my beginner retakes. They look complicated, they're really not, I promise you. If you just take 10 minutes and you watch the slow-mo portions of this video and you practice those moves, I guarantee you 10 minutes each move and you'll have them down. If you guys are curious in seeing something a little more advanced like this one I showed earlier, then let me know. I can definitely make an advanced tutorial. Even though I called the high ground retakes in this video beginner high ground retakes, they're retakes that I use basically every single day. They're some of the most simple and easy to do, but they're some of the most effective. So if you guys are gonna try them, let me know how it goes down in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more in the future. And on that note, I hope to see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching.